How's everybody doing? Welcome to Solution Secret. As you know, I'm Kelly. Hey folks, how's everybody living? Man, I'm doing my best. With all the uncertainty that's going on. A little while ago, before I came down to my friend's house to do this video and socialize for a minute and check on them, see how they were doing. A good friend of mine said that his friend for 30, 35 years committed suicide. You know, no word, no nothing, no indication of it. Man, if it's it's happening in 2020 more so than most of us realize until you're impacted by it. But I'm bipolar. First and foremost, I have a lot of PTSD. I have a lot of trauma. My trauma has PTSD, and my PTSD has trauma. I deal with a lot of suicidal ideation. I've had a couple attempted suicides in my life. God willing that it didn't go through. But suicide awareness is something that's really dear and close to my heart because you know what? Everybody on this planet, we need you, whether you want to believe this or not, and whatever you're going through. It's kind of hard when you make a permanent decision about a temporary problem because most of the things that we deal with are temporary. They're not permanent. You know, I mean, with all my baggage from the past, 19 years in prison, plus 4 to 5 years as a teenager in the teenage system, in the juvenile system. For all rights, intents, and purposes, I mean, I feel as though I'm entitled to go and do something like that, and that was my mindset at that point. But you know what? Somebody would miss you, man. And if you're really going through some hardships right now, call suicide awareness. Man, reach out and talk to somebody because you know what? You may not see this, but you know what? The floor is no place for a champion, and we all hit the floors because every last one of you has a tremendous amount of greatness, skills, abilities, and capacities. But you're gonna have to believe it, or at least surround yourself with some people who can see you with it. You know, this is it's disheartening, man. It's a hard thing to take to cope with. I've dealt with death my whole life. Most of the people that I grew up with are not here. Gang banging, prison, getting shit, drive-bys, whatever. Overdoses. I'm used to death. You know, my first year, when when I was still in the treatment center, when I was in 2012, when I sought treatment for my problems, because I don't think I ever, I don't mention this a lot, but um, August 14th of 2012, I was so disappointed with myself and with the quality of the shit show of the life that I had. I made a deal with myself. I said, I'm gonna try and give this shit one last shot. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna take that final plunge. And everything just seemed to work out. 2 days later, I was in treatment, and 8 years later, I'm still here. And I deal with these issues of not wanting to be here, not wanting to go through the pain of life. But I'm constantly being bombarded from people, which I love, of course. I love helping people, especially through these hardships and challenges and obstacles of life. Because you know what, any opposition that you face is an opportunity. And I know a lot of people don't want to really hear that from me when I tell them about it. And I say, man, sometimes you got to look at what you have versus that what you don't have. If you have the capacity to wake up in the morning, man, you're doing so much better than most, especially during this C19 year. It's that's another dynamic. You have to look at the sheer amount of people who are passing away unnecessarily for influenza, for a flu. And you know things are not right in this country. Things are not right in the states. Things are not right in the city. But at the end of the day, that none of that shit really matters. It's about, am I all right with myself? Because all that shit outside of myself is just bullshit. I mean, in a real way, it's just a bunch of motherfucking bullshit. My main responsibility is my joy and who in the fuck I give it to, because you know what? Most of these sorry ass motherfuckers or these situations aren't even fucking worth it. Fuck Trump. Fuck Biden. Fuck all them, fuck the politics. But at the end of the day, you gotta do you. You know, you gotta thrive, and you're gonna have to find a way to pull yourself up by the bootstraps out of that fucked up ass position. If you can't reach out to somebody who can help you, you know, in a real way. And I don't, it's kind of like talking back in my old ways, but that's just how passionate I feel about this, man. And it's you know, let's keep it 100, man. I've been super solid from day one, and you know what? If I can do this, you can do this, man. Because, man, there's times when I want to go back to the penitentiary and just kick back and parlay and just kick it kick it with my boys. But you know, I kind of like being out here. I kind of like, driving around in my car with the top down, playing some music. I refuse to be silent about a lot of things, man. And one of the things I can't be silent about is my own life. I have to be a participant. I have to be engaged in it. I have to do something to change the situation. And I got a lot of that content, that sheer determination from Eric Thomas and Les Brown when I used to listen to them. I used to go to sleep to those cats, man. And then see people like Inky Johnson and then Tony Robbins, and how he can just come over here and change and give people some solutions, man, that actually can actually work for them. I'm inspired by those people, and I'm still am today. T.D. Jakes, and a host of other people, man. Alan Watts. These are the things that I go to when I'm going through my own personal shit, and I go through it more than I would like to admit. And most people around me don't even know that I'm going through it, because you know what? I'm still gonna act like there's nothing wrong, and I'm still gonna go, even though I might be hurting inside. There might be a whole lot of pain, anguish and grief and physical pain and torment and going down those rabbit holes. But at the end of the day, man, some of us have to be the example for other people, because this 2020 is a completely new beast, and a lot of people just don't know how to act or respond to it. But I pray to God that you're responding to it in the right way. And if so, man, hit me up. Solution Seekers LA on Instagram. Kelly K. Ray on Facebook. If you're struggling, man, send me a message. Man, I just pray and hope that if anybody, those people who do watch this or do come across it, that you know what, you mean something. You're very special, man, and you're loved. And I just hope that you realize that, because, it's never what anybody tells us that matters. Is that which we tell ourselves. Because I got multiple voices in my head going off all the time. The one telling me the right thing is the most quietest one, but the loudest one is the one that's going to try to put me in a fucked up situation once again. And you know what? I've been in some very bad situations, and I loved every minute of those, being in those situations, but that's just the insanity of my lifestyle and how it was. And, if I can go back and change anything, I wouldn't change a damn thing, because had it not been for those hardships and those experiences, I wouldn't be the individual who I am today. And I can rest assured of that, is that I'm always trying to create that new, better version of myself. Even in spite of myself and in spite of everybody, the shit that I do is not for anybody else. It's because that's just that's where my gifts are. That's where my talents are. This is what I should be doing. And I didn't want to come over here. My whole intent was to talk about something else. But when I was told that today, and then last week, I heard that a friend of mine, his in-laws, at Thanksgiving dinner, just fell flat on the table and she died right then and there. And then he's sitting there trying to give her CPR. You don't hear stuff like this outside of 2020. I'm sure that it does happen, but it's not the case. I don't know where we're at. I just hope that we know better and we can do better, because you know what? And let us all take a moment to reflect and try to be the best version of ourselves for our own well-being. Hopefully they might need to see that from you. And maybe you don't know what they're going through, but they're seeing you as someone who's tackling all this bullshit we've been tossed. And we didn't create it, but we have to deal with it. This financial insecurity, from the job loss, reducing hours. There's no stimulus package. There's no rent moratorium. and more people are in debt than they ever were. These politicians are just caring about conceding more power and getting their own how they want it, and they don't realize that some people can't even put food on the table to feed their family. So why do you think that these people are taking? These people are in a very emotional low points, and they see no way out but to take their own lives. And that's not what life's about, man. It shouldn't be anyway, but and I just hope that anybody who's watching this is not at that point. If you're at that point, please reach out to somebody else, because you know what, the life you save just might be your own sometimes. Thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.